Welcome to Preemptive Action Media. Today is October 14, 2019. I am Peter Corretcher, and this is your source for analysis for news and world events. Today we have a special indoor edition editorial for all of you, in which we're going to be discussing two issues that came up to the press today, change what exactly we have in schedule for broadcasting, but since the relevance of the information, we decided that it was worth it for us to change. The first one has to do with the guy that we have in my back, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is outraged with the situation done by President Donald Trump. Most recently, about 4 or 5 days ago, he publicly said that, among other things, that President Donald Trump had to be impeached. He doesn't have enough reasons to justify the impeachment of Donald Trump. He came with the audacity and mind-blowing idea that Donald Trump should be impeached because he wants to take the American troops out of Syria. Yes, because it hurts the national security by taking those troops out of Syria. We have to remember, our audience should remember, our friends, that the reason originally for which those troops were deployed there was to get rid of ISIS. ISIS has been diminishing 80% or more. The Russians are there and other allies are there in the coalition to get rid of ISIS. And right now, there are more important reasons for which the president, which was a promise that he will be taking the troops out from places in which there was no real reason for them to be, and bring them back home to the United States. Joe Biden came with this kind of outrage statement, among other things that he said that I'm not going to be mentioned that now here. He said that the Donald Trump, the Democrats they come with so many stupidities to justify a president that you cannot label or frame in any kind of standard in the political aspect, because nobody knows exactly what to expect from him, which is true. He's an unpredictable president, which is what we need right now, because the situation in which the economy is right now, which brings us to the second subject, is the market is upside down. We are relying on the president to be able to accomplish in this trade war with China, to have a trade deal that is good for the United States. Apparently, it's happening right now. But the truth of the matter is that even with the trade deal with China, the world economy is in such a bad situation that it can explode and collapse at any time. And this brings the second subject. In a Zero Hedge article, there was an article published by Tyler Durden, in which he said the central bank issues a warning that if the entire system collapses, gold will be needed to start all over again. Something that the preppers and the people that support gold and warn a lot of people, get gold, get silver, because it's the only safe haven, not only for inflation, but for any collapse in the financial monetary system that we have here, but not only here in the United States, but also in the world. Who, for the past 11 years, have been warning that the monetary reset is inevitable, and the only viable fallback option once trust and faith in the fiat currency, the dollar, is lost, is gold. Gold standard. Central banks are joining the doom parade now too. How? Acquiring substantial amount of gold to have them as a reserve in their vaults. This has been done not only uh, by our own central banks in the United States, Germany, England, France, and now we're talking about an article that comes from Netherlands. An article published by the Netherlands Bank or the Dutch Central Bank has shocked many with his claim that if a system collapses, the gold reserves can serve as a basis to build the whole monetary system again. Gold bolsters confidence in the stability of the central bank's balance sheet and creates sense of security. It's preparing, it's getting ready for the coming possible collapse. And according to the IMS latest data, the Netherlands Bank holds 615 tons of gold. 615 tons of gold, which is roughly about 15,000 bars of gold, mainly in Amsterdam. That represents a total of $6.62 billion. In the same way the Netherlands doing, other banking institutions are doing. Because what happens is when things go bad and the financial system collapses, all what you need to have is gold to preserve your wealth or silver. Gold or silver or both. In preemptive action media, we recommend to the people, regardless if you are a prepper or not, regardless if you're a conservative person that are alert of what could happen in the near future, gold and silver. Gold and silver retain the value. Gold and silver has been used by the Romans. Gold and silver is something that when we had our currency connected with gold, we had control upon the inflation. The moment we step out of the gold standard, then when you see the graphic of the excess of debt being acquired in the United States, it's like going to the Mount Everest because they're so high. But it's not only done by the United States, it's done by all the Federal Reserve banks in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in France, in Belgium, in England, in Russia, in China. Yes, they do. They have their own central banks over there, and they have also situations in which they have to deal with it because all is interconnected. This is this so-called globalization that was forecast and predicted and planned for many years, many decades before, by other members of the Republican administration like the Bushes and the Clintons. But not only that, the elite in Washington, the elite in Wall Street has been planning to do this for a long, long, long time. It's scary, but it's happening. We have to be prepared. Donald Trump is doing the best he can to save this country, to save the financial system, to bring some good treaty, good negotiation with the Chinese, with China, and change the exchange balance between the Chinese. This is a trade balance between the two countries that can favor a little bit more to the United States, because what happened is we had a negative trade balance for years and years and years, decades, and that flow of money and wealth has been going to China. Now Donald Trump is trying to bring that back here to the United States, but at the same time he's trying to do that, there are forces behind the throne, there are forces within the government that's trying to stop Donald Trump to make America great again. They're trying to sabotage what he's doing, and these dark forces are trying to stop Donald Trump to achieve his goals. We in Preemptive Action Media, we're trying to be as objective as we can and minimize any kind of bias. We understand that certain things have been done for a certain reason. They may not be right at first glance, but when you go deep and you search for information and you dig in deep and you try to find out what exactly happened, why Donald Trump was engaged in this investigation in Ukraine, as we said in a prior podcast. Donald Trump was trying to do something that he cannot rely on anybody else to perform. He was using his position as a first executive of the United States to gather some information informally from the president of Ukraine. Recently, President of Ukraine publicly said to the media, to the world media, that there was no blackmail from President Donald Trump to him. So most of these collusion or criticism against the President Trump is all made up. It's fabricated. It's a setup. Because there are forces, again, from the deep state, most of them also from the shadow government that is supporting the deep state in this endeavor, that is supporting and protecting the prior administration of Joe Biden and Obama. Why? Because they were engaged in corruption in Ukraine using fake organizations, fake corporations to engage in practice and activities of corruption and to destabilize the government of Ukraine. But this is all. I'm not going to get any further because this is supposed to be an editorial, and this is what we have to finish. Thank you all for listening to us, and make sure you hit the button for subscribing. It's important for you to subscribe. I want you to send me email for any comments that you may have, suggestions. We're welcome to receive any kind of comment. But for this point, this is all. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.